I am going to share my story for all of those who are aspiring to do their medical residency in the United States. This is the story of my journey from going unmatched to matching into a university program in New York City. I am going to discuss the four key changes that helped me achieve what I wanted. The first most crucial change that I had to bring was changing the mindset and the narrative within myself from am I good enough to I am good enough. The second most crucial learning during my first year was realizing that USMLE journey is a very expensive affair. During my first year, I wasted a lot of time and energy in saving money, and I have also seen people who are trying to save money and they do rotations at private clinics, and it doesn't work out for them because they don't get the residency. What happens as a result is they spend the cost of living to be there and also spend double the amount of money in applications because of not matching. And also, there is a loss of $300,000 that you could have started making early on if you would have made it on time. So you have to make sure that you spend the money at right places and get the letters, make the right connections with the people, and get into a residency because it is very crucial as you meet those people. You also get an insight into the interviews and how the culture of the program is, and it is really helpful. You have to make sure that you ask for help from your friends and family who are in the position to help you at this point because you are going to pay them back eventually because you're going to make a lot of money. And also, let me take back to the first point where you have to have that confidence and the belief in yourself that you are going to make it because this is how you will be confident to spend that money. This is how you will be able to convince the people to spend that money on you. And that is why believing in yourself is really crucial. Third crucial thing that I realized was that the personal statement and ERAS CV is my personal statement and ERAS CV. During my first year, I spent a lot of time and asked hundreds of opinions from others on how I should write my personal statement and the CV. Guess what happened because of it? My personal statement became a public statement. You don't want that to happen to you. Everyone has a unique journey and unique set of experiences with unique background and unique upbringing. You have to spend time with yourself, and that is how you are going to be able to write your personal statement and your story. Of course, you can ask for help and opinions of others in regards to how you can make your story better or how you can write it better or how you can portray it better. But you cannot ask for ideas from them. It has to be you who is writing it and it has to be unique. And the only way that you would be able to do that is by believing in yourself and having that idea that this is my story and people are going to like it. If you don't have that belief in yourself, you are going to be afraid of writing your own personal statement in Irasiri and you are going to be asking for opinions from others. So keep this in mind while writing your personal statement that you have to write your own story and you have to back yourself and you just have to learn to how to write it better and you can take help for that purpose. And let me promise this one thing to you. If you will write your own personal statement in CV, they will ask you interesting questions. Otherwise, be prepared to answer boring questions and be ready to be forgotten about in as soon as the interview is over. The fourth crucial part of this process was realizing the importance of networking and outreach. I cannot emphasize more importance on this because I was in a delusion during my first year that I will finish the application and then wait for the magic to happen. But it did not work out well for me. You have to realize that you have to reach out to as many people as you can and you have to make your presence felt. No magic is waiting out there for you to happen. And the best way to do this is by reaching out on email. In today's time, most of the people have their presence on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. You can use these media to reach out to them and let them know about your interest in their program or their research or their clinical activities or the work that you are interested in. And one more uh, thing that I found really helpful was going into the conferences where you actually meet them in person and make those connections. So it is really crucial. You might get a thought during this process that why should I do this? It is such an arduous process. But let me tell you, this comes from a place of fear and doubt in your capabilities. If you are 100% sure of your capabilities, you will be ready to put yourself out there and be willing to accept rejection because you will think in that way that this is who I am, this is my profile. Now they have to like me for who I am. And if they don't like me, it is their loss. It is not your loss. One more key thing about the outreach is start it as early as possible. So many people are interested in USMLE since their medical school. So that is the best time to start your outreach. The best time to start the outreach is now. Because what happened with me during the first year was I did my application, I had no outreach. And then when I started reaching out to them after the application in a state of desperation when the interviews were not coming, no one reached out back to me. I got no response from them, neither rejection nor acceptance. It did not work out well. And this time I was prepared that I'm going to have a better outreach. I started it in a year advance. And guess what happened? I got more interviews during this cycle. I had better connections during the interviews because I knew them from before. And it worked out well for me. Now, coming to the end of the video, I want to tell you that please throw everything that I said into a dustbin because this journey is all about two things, which is experience and character development. You just have to see it as a learning curve where you are going to grow and there is no roof to growth. I did not match during my first cycle. I was really disappointed by it at that point. But guess what happened when I had to wait? I matched into the field that I wanted, into one of the biggest programs in the country, in the best city of the world. So better things are waiting for you if you had to wait, and you just have to wait for it because just the timing has to be right.